Hello, everyone. SpeeDMan here, and we are back with our Let's Learn Civilization 6 United States run. So, where we last left off, as we recall, he just met the German Empire. He's a little further out in a different direction somewhere. Right around here. So he's over in this direction, pretty far away from us. He's more like technically over here and there, at least in the border edges, but so we've got some good cities here. You know, this city is going to, once it has the grove, food is not going to be a problem. Right now it's just really the big factor behind why food is slow is largely because of the fact that it is a tundra city. But these tiles here are helping kind of carry some of that burden, having one food already. So just the fact they have one food and have three production, that gives me like, and a four mine here is not a problem, because it's a good mine. Yes, that'll erupt at some point, and there may be a resource material there later in the game, but uh, that would actually be really good though. Maybe like niter or something like that, or something later in the game, even later than that, that could be useful. But we have now the World Congress session that is now up and open. So before we do that, let's think about like, what districts are we going to try to produce more of? We have a grove here from Washington, so we can go ahead and delete that. We have a grove here from Philadelphia that could be made eventually. It's going to take some time for that, but what we'll do is either put it with Philadelphia. Actually, no, Philadelphia's got this one. Never mind. Sorry. So what we'll do is we'll make another city. So that's going to be our first objective this episode, is we're going to take a look and see what ways we can go ahead and get our population up. First, let's go ahead and get into this. So let's go city center. We have quite a few things throughout that could be helped out. Walls here in the city, and also more importantly, a monument. Walls here, and then a water mill here. A water mill honestly would be excellent for this city, just because it would help this city have a little bit more production. It's right now, the city value is 1-2, so that basically make it a 2-3, which would actually make it decent. So let's go ahead and we'll have a +1 to that. Earn double points towards people of this class. If we take a look here, we are actually pretty competitive with great scientist points. At the same time that preserves are really good, they do not have a great person of their own. That actually would be really neat though, is like either a mod or a small expansion tool or something that would allow for that. Um, could be like a little bit of, like a great ranger or something like that, or somebody, and they could be someone basically that helps protect this area and provides unique bonuses to them. And that actually could be a completely unique little way to explore more mechanics of the game. Uh, I'll actually have to take a look around and see if that's actually a thing somewhere. So let's go ahead, we'll vote yes on that. We have plenty of Diplo favors, so we can spend a lot towards something if we really want to go crazy with it, but it's not really necessary. Most likely pick is going to be a scientist. Great scientist, and no, it was campus. Okay, so that's a little different than I was expecting, but I mean that's still totally okay. So that is going to grow soon. Okay, so I've already placed down the campus, so that's over here, +1, but realistically, it probably would have been better to put it here. I mean, yeah, actually, no, it's a breathtaking tile. That's why I didn't do that. That's right. I picked that because if I did breathtaking, then I would actually lose the value there. The two science and two culture right there is vastly more useful. Okay, so we do have a governor title available. Um, we have everything we need really from Magnus, so we're kind of okay there, to be honest. We don't need anything from Amani. Amani is, where is she at? So she's here at Johannesburg. Cities receive one production for every improved resource type. After researching industrialization, it becomes +2. That itself is pretty useful. There's a lot of benefit that could be made there, so that'll be something that we can potentially target. In this city, because we already have the 2 districts that we want, um, kind of in a good spot. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have, let's see here, have a trade out going down here and there. You know, from Baltimore to Philadelphia wouldn't be bad. Just that way we have one that kind of cuts through this region. So we could probably do that. I'm not gonna have a problem with it being a little slower at the current stage. Um, okay. And taking a look at banking, we just got done with that. So that's good. Um, let's just do a quick empire check. So we have industrial zone that's down. So that's done. Science buildings are twice as quick. So we'll go ahead and just do some of those. It's going to provide too much value for us to not do it. So we'll have to consider that. Um, don't really need that. This is typically at this stage of the game significantly better. Having just all operations for spies being, a little bit more successful in general, at least having a higher chance of success. Grandmaster's Chapel, this isn't really a religion run, so if I did have some holy sites, then that would be different. And this would actually just be in general an excellent choice because being able to buy units with faith. Um, and then getting bonus faith from pillages and such if you're in a religious type of war situation. But I would say in general, intelligence agency is the most safe option. If you're, say, like Hungary with his unique abilities, foreign ministry becomes a lot better because you get more strength on top of what you already are getting. And then you're also being able to do it for even cheaper than that. So it's an excellent choice in general. We don't need an aqueduct. We've got an okay amount of food. I mean, 32 food for general growth, and then 16 housing. So that's pretty good. We're getting that in a couple turns. That's going to be an excellent thing for us to have. It's just going to help us a lot with our normal growth. +3, that's going to help a lot as well. So let's take a look. So we have, great scientist points up. We have that. So let's go ahead and take a look. Since we do have that one card, where can we slot in for some value here? We could do either of these two. These guys have about 6, so he did take suzerainty of that. I've got suzerainty of a couple city-states here. Now, basically what I'm considering is probably holding on to what I have. Usually the safe bet at the moment is to not overcommit a specific style here. So with what we have here, we have a couple options. So we could go down this bottom tree here. We could also kind of set ourselves up for more of like a push here, potentially making a beeline for Oxford. So that's an option there. Oxford and Patala Palace, both of those would play into our game very well because the diplomatic card itself would just get shifted over. Because then we have, instead of a diplomatic card, we have a wild card slot. So let's go ahead and try to make a push for that, which will mean we need to take a look and see if there's anything we could do to make our wonders a little faster. We have monarchy, which gives us Gothic architecture. And what we'll do is probably take this off because we're not going to be using those city-states. And then we'll go ahead and put down this. And that way we're prepared to go ahead and begin that journey. Once we have it, we won't need to worry about it for the time being. Plus, let's consider a couple wonders that we can build on the side. So there's Mont Saint Michel. Apadana is always an option. Unfortunately, Apadana, there aren't many places to put it that would actually be like, you know, decent. Because that charming tile right here, as soon as I get a national park, boom, that tile is just going to turn into a breathtaking tile and it's going to gain a lot more value. So, and that's also why you don't see this tile being taken, because it has 4 culture, 2 science, 2 food, 2 faith, 4 food, and 1 production. So that is a grand total of, let's see here, it's 5, 7, 9, 11, 15 yield. So a 13 yield profit over the base minimum food requirement of 2. So that's pretty much like one of the things about Teddy's ability, particularly antiquities and parks. It's just an extremely powerful, beneficial type of setup that you can work off of. We're gonna go ahead, excuse me, and we're gonna go ahead and consider a couple options here. We don't really have any campuses that are like absurdly good. You know, all of our campuses here are +1, +3, +1, +1, and so on. So nothing really tangibly like, you know, highly advanced in points or anything like that. We'll go ahead and work on medieval fairs. I'd like us to go ahead and make a push for humanism, get great engineer points, so that way we can start really tapping into that field. And particularly, and more importantly, we can be competitive to potentially pick up 1 or 2 like wonder great people. We still have a governor title here. Some of these wouldn't be bad. Fishery is not really useful, not for what I have. Bengali could be a safe option though, so we'll go ahead and assign him. Bring you back here just to take a look at what we have. You're already here. You're here. Amani's elsewhere. Probably put you in Philadelphia. That city's going to grow to 10 population next turn regardless. You just keep working your way over here. Let's find some more information about what's around us. Good. So we got a good, strong, and we also confirmed ourselves for a Renaissance era golden age, and that's excellent. That's really what we're looking for here. Go ahead and ready up for the next turn. Not really necessary, don't really need that. In the meantime, we are going to see which civ does have a decent amount of gold and also accepts Diplo favor at a premium price. You do. And you have plenty of gold per turn. Let's go ahead and give him 100. So that's good value right there. 16 gold per turn that we didn't even have before, so that has a lot of utility. Anyone else that goes for a decent price? I'm also keeping an eye on amenities to see who has luxury tiles, or just luxuries. Okay. At this stage, because we have so many, we can just start selling some off if we want to continue getting our economy boosted up, and that may actually be something we want to consider. Find someone that has some gold per turn available. You've got 9. Let's go ahead and give you 50. Perfect. Yeah, so everybody has like pretty much out of gold, so we'll take advantage of that. Put ourselves in a better position by doing that. Okay, so those reefs are good. Only problem is that you can't really maximize utility off of them. But and the reason I say that is because where they're positioned, going in that way, you can't get a campus there for the campus to actually take like a proper effect. It'd be usable there. What we will do is we'll make a queue, and we'll pick up a builder and a settler in the capital, or we'll just do settler. That way we don't need to worry about population loss, and we could get that guy set up here, and we get started. 221, that's not a bad tile. That camp there will get better. Pasture here, great tile for food. We can add some production value here. And then what we'll do is we'll add another preserve here. And we don't have to farm this. You know, the fact it's going to have 5 food, it's charming. And eventually we'll grow into like a significantly better tile later in the game. So that's something that we can add even more value to. What we will do in the meantime is we'll just have you cycle around. He's most likely going to get attacked if there's enough movement left for the skirmisher. Skirmisher ran away, so it's perfect. What we'll do in the meantime is we'll just bug out around the side, see what the world dimensions look like. We do have about 4 more turns till the next era starts. So we do want to go ahead and get the intelligence agency into settler. And I think that's a good point for us to set up there. I can go ahead and consider selling some of my resources off. It would need to be somebody that's not a major competitor. So like a Brazil is close enough to where he could technically be threatening. Uh, maybe an Monitor since she's friendly with me. That's 6. 12. So let's give her 10. We'll do something better here. And then Germany. Is there nobody that actually has available gold per turn? If that's true, that's... Okay, you've got some. Okay, you value that a lot. So let's go ahead and give them 36. Got yourself a deal. Now we got ourselves a little bit more cash that we can take into the market. Not concerned. You know, our family. What we'll do is we'll go back to here. We are 1 turn away from our grove. That city will get a very nice boost to its growth here, so that's excellent because these tiles here, like this honey here, is 1-3. That's gonna eventually improve once we have charming for it. These tiles here, the charming tile, more charming, breathtaking. So this one right here is going to improve a pretty good amount, and that's perfect. We do have another governor tile, so we'll go ahead and just give ourselves a bit more science per turn. It'll just help us stay competitive in line with our general competitors here. These guys are more ahead, particularly these 3. So he's getting a lot of adjacency yields. So for example, he could, actually he's not, I just realized. he didn't place his districts around that many. Yeah, the theater square has got to get boosted pretty well, so that's smart. But his campuses aren't like that campus there could easily have been put there, and then you put another district, and that could be +2 or 3 easily. Yeah, so that's not the most efficient. That okay? Where's that scout going? You know what? That's actually fine. I'm gonna cancel the movement, but yeah, that's actually fine. No, and I do like that setup. So we do have a golden age. So we're going to take a look at what we have available for options here. We're going to go ahead and also bug out, get ourselves a little further back out of there. We have a few options that are going to be like pretty solid. So that one's not likely going to happen. Yeah, this would be pretty good. Monumentality, because having builders like move more and being able to purchase units with faith, that means I could just outright buy a settler and that'll be fine. So we'll go ahead and do that. We have enough faith income to where, with 28 faith per turn, we're in a position where we could be pretty competitive with that. We can use that to our advantage. So let's do that. Um, we only have, let's see here, 10. So we have 15. That'll add 15 gold per turn, but it's not really that big of a bonus. Um, at the moment, we're not using Gothic architecture since I decided against kind of like, I was thinking about it more as I put it on. It's just I decided against putting that on. What we'll do is we'll add serfdom. And, we can switch it up and add this if we want to have a little bit more science. It's not really that big of a deal. 15 gold per turn. I mean, it's helpful, nice, yes, but also the position isn't that big of a deal. Established governors with at least 2 promotions provide 1 amenity and 2 housing. Right now in a lot of my cities, I kind of need that. So that way I can get some of that early growth and just getting those districts down. The earlier I can get more districts down, the better my position is going to be as I approach the mid game. So diplomatic corridor is going to be a good one to have. Let's go ahead and consider where we want to place that. Diplo quarter here would provide us a nice little bonus. It would add another point to these two. So that would turn into a +2. That would turn into a +1. So that's useful. Let's see here. Yeah, and some of these places also are like just very, very high value. So it needs to be on a hill adjacent to a mountain. So like maybe, maybe the wonder being put right here. Let's just take a quick look. No one seems to have been building it yet. So what we'll do is we'll put a Patala Palace here. That actually may be a near critical one for us to go for, because it is a very, very good wonder to have. If I can, there it is. I was looking for it. And then we can put down, let's see, that one there. Some of these charming tiles, once I put national parks down, will get better. So the only thing I'm considering right now is if I were to put Patala Palace in one of my main cities, I could put it here. It's going to take quite a while, but I can at least get it started. Once I get another city, I'm basically kind of locked. Um, I don't have many places that the Patala Palace can actually be really good to place down. You know, maybe like here, and then um, maybe putting down like over here. Yeah, you know what? That actually may be an option here. So theater square here, Patala Palace there. And then can put another district down here. Could probably make it anything really. Um, yeah, I mean, could probably do either that or a commercial hub. I'd just have something like that, you know. It'll be along near a trade route and it'll also be a pretty decent little setup here. So I feel like I'd rather set up there. We'll go ahead and set the position for that. It's our highest, one of our highest production cities, so it's going to give us the best growth potential here. The university has been completed. Perfect. What we're going to go ahead and do is in this city, since we now have like 86 science per turn, which is pretty damn good, you know, for this stage of the game, is not bad. We have a couple options. We can go ahead and build that theater square, and we'll just want to find a really optimal place for it. These other tiles are just too good to replace. You know, like I could put down a theater square there and eventually, you know, find a wonder to put down in the region here. So I could probably do theater square. You know, theater square with, wait, has Coliseum been done yet? No. So, you know, possibly could do, um, let's see here, Coliseum, and then with entertainment complex here. This tile will get better. It'll actually, well, actually, because it's next to a mountain and next to, yeah, so what I'll have to do is if I want this tile to just have a little bit better value, um, let's see here. If I buy that, it's 165 gold. Now this should have some culture. At least it should. I know we're going to need a tile there anyways, just because of these ones here. I could replace this, you know, at the same time. Breathtaking tiles adjacent to a wonder of wood. So yeah, once I have more of these tiles, so that's average. That's charming too. So basically that'll get upgraded eventually because it's next to a mountain. So that tile there, I'd like to preserve. I don't want to change anything about that tile there. I wanted to take a second to think about it and I was like, yeah, it makes more sense. Here, at least we have ownership in this area, so that tile isn't really doing anything for us, so we'll just, you know, eventually put down a lumber mill. Lumber mill there would actually be pretty practical. Okay. Pretty nice sized army that Hattusa has. Of course, that guy's going to hit me again. I'd like to land him and then just have him heal up for a bit so that way I can keep him recovered. But in the meantime, thank you everybody for your time. We are going to go ahead and finish this episode here. But yeah, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. For this week, we are, of course, doing Teddy Roosevelt, but we are going to continue doing kind of more of them as we go. And just enjoy that experience. You know, this is a different run. It's a nice change of pace from the normal runs that I've been doing. But yeah, all right, everyone, y'all have a good one. SpeeDMan out.